Steven Gerrard is an utter animal.
Yeah.
He is so big, so strong, he's got such big levers, he's aggressive, he's the best header of the ball, he's fast, he's strong, he could play right back and be the best player in the Premier League, he could play left wing and be the best player in the Premier League. Put him anywhere, he can score goals, he's got vision. I know Scholes is an amazing passer, amazing vision, everything, but Gerrard is not far behind. He can put a ball on a sixpence.
What he did transmit, how he used to transcend people, you know, the energy, the aura.
That is with opponents like him that I am the manager I am.
The best single player of his era on a 20-year span.
Football, you follow the strongest. At Liverpool, they followed one man, Steven Gerrard. He never won the Premier League, but to the people of Liverpool, he's a god. Not because of the trophies he won, but because of the moments. The nights where he looked like the last man standing, when one city, one club, and one fading dream rested on his shoulders. He wasn't just a footballer, he was Liverpool's heartbeat. The engine, the fire, the shield. The kind of player who could start at right back, finish as a striker, and still drag 11 men across the line.
How would you separate you and Gerrard?
He's an athlete.
But that's the only difference then?
I think he was more of a match winner as well, wasn't he? But he's playing in a team where he probably had to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you reckon he could do what you did at United? And do you reckon you could do what he did at Liverpool?
Very different again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do what he did at Liverpool.
Mm.
Whether he could have done what he did at United, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. But I couldn't have done what he did at Liverpool, no.
Liverpool's youngest ever team captain. He scored in the finals of the FA Cup, League Cup, UEFA Cup and Champions League, and earned more PFA Team of the Year nominations than Lampard, Scholes and Ronaldo combined. He didn't just play for Liverpool, he fought for it, bled for it, carried it. So how good was Steven Gerrard actually? And how did he become a football immortal while leading one of the weakest Liverpool squads in Premier League history? This is the story of Steven Gerrard. Not just a player, a force of nature, the man who went to war every single week for his city. Steven Gerrard was born in Wiston and grew in Huyton. His story begins on the grey streets of Merseyside, a place of pride, pain and passion. Life was tough. Nothing was handed to you. His family was working class. They gave him tough love. Money was tight. There were no shortcuts. From the beginning, Gerrard had to fight for everything. When he was a baby, doctors said he had clubfoot. His right foot was bent the wrong way. It hurt to walk. Playing football felt like an impossible dream, but he didn't give up. He wore braces, went to therapy, and cried at night. He kept going. Because even as a kid, Steven Gerrard never gave up. That's what makes a warrior. Not talent, not luck, but grit. Pain taught him early. Nothing great comes easy. Then came the kind of heartbreak no child should face. His cousin, John Paul Gihuli, was only 10 when he died in the Hillsborough disaster. That day, 96 people died, and one boy, Steven, was left behind. Carrying their memory in his heart, that grief became a flame. He didn't just want to play football. He had to. After that, football wasn't just a game anymore. It became his purpose. He became a Liverpool fan in 1989 after watching John Barnes shine in the FA Cup final, dancing past defenders like they weren't even there. Something clicked. For a young boy in Huyton, that was the moment everything changed. That was when young Gerrard fell in love with the red shirt. By 8, he was dominating games at Wiston Juniors, his local grassroots team. He played against older kids and was better than all of them. He was named man of the match almost every week. His teachers noticed, the scouts noticed too. Even Manchester United tried to sign him, but Gerrard didn't hesitate because only one badge ever mattered to him. Liverpool Football Club, the badge he bled for, the dream he followed since that FA Cup final. At just 9 years old, Steven Gerrard joined the Liverpool Youth Academy. He was thin and quiet, but full of energy inside. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't perfect or well trained yet, but he had something you can't teach: fire in his heart. The coaches saw it. To them, he wasn't just another kid in the academy. They believed he was the future of the club. But in 1998, Liverpool didn't look like a team that was going anywhere. They looked lost. They were stuck in the past. Their best years were over. Then, an 18-year-old walked onto the field.
Fresh-faced teenager Steven Gerrard.
And everything started to change. November 29, 1998. Blackburn Rovers versus Liverpool. An 18-year-old walks onto the pitch. He's skinny, nervous, and hungry to prove himself. He looked raw, out of place, but he never hides. He keeps asking for the ball. You could see it. He wasn't scared. He was learning. Fast. Liverpool didn't need flair. They needed fighters. And Gerrard, he was ready to fight. By the 2000 season, he was starting every week. He played in every position. Midfield, right wing, even left back. It didn't matter. Wherever Liverpool were weakest, he filled the gap. Then came 2001, the year Steven Gerrard stopped being a prospect and became a star. Liverpool were on a mission, fighting for trophies in every competition. And Gerrard, he was everywhere. He was still only 20, but played like someone who trained at Anfield for years. Tackling like a veteran, driving forward like a brick. Treble. FA Cup, League Cup, UEFA Cup. Gerrard ended the season with several silverware around his neck and the PFA Young Player of the Year award in his hands.
It was an ambition to play for Liverpool. Now that it's here, I appreciate it very much, and hopefully I can win a lot of trophies with them and stay there as long as possible.
But more importantly, he had the world's attention. He wasn't just a fighter now, he was the heart of the team. He was Liverpool's engine, soul, and spark, a force of nature unleashed. But Liverpool didn't just need energy, they needed a leader, and at just 23, they made him captain. 2003. Liverpool were stuck. They were good, but not good enough to win. They needed more than talent. They needed identity. Liverpool manager Gerard Houllier took a big risk. He made a 23-year-old local boy captain. No league titles, no experience. Just passion, tackles, and loyalty. Many fans were against his decision. Too young, too reckless, too emotional. They thought the armband would break him. However, Houllier stuck to his choice. But for Gerrard, being captain wasn't a prize. It was a job to take seriously. He didn't simply change. He leveled up. He screamed louder, tackled harder, ran further. He didn't just demand more from his teammates. He gave more. Every sprint was a statement. Every tackle was a vow. Every roar was a cry for belief. And through him, Liverpool started to believe again. The moments that followed proved one thing. Gerrard didn't just deserve the armband, he was born for it. December 2004, Champions League group stage. Liverpool versus Olympiacos. They needed one more goal to survive. The ball drops at the edge of the box, and Gerrard unleashes a thunderbolt. That goal didn't just send Liverpool through, it sent a message to Europe. By then, Rafael Benitez was already at the helm. Tactically sharp, calm under pressure, the perfect balance to Gerrard's fire. Together, they were building something, but no one, not even Gerrard, could have predicted what would happen next. Because just 5 months later, the same boy from Highton was about to play in the biggest game of his life and perform a miracle the world would never forget. When Rafael Benitez took over in 2004, Liverpool were in transition. The team had some good but old players, some new ones but no clear style. What they had though was Steven Gerrard, a captain who refused to settle for mediocrity. Early in the season, their Premier League campaign was shaky. Injuries, inconsistency, dropped points, but in Europe, something was brewing. In the round of 16, Liverpool faced Bayer Leverkusen and destroyed them over 2 legs, 6-2 on aggregate. Next came Juventus, a true European giant. Liverpool won 2-1 at Anfield with Gerrard playing deeper, controlling the tempo, organizing the chaos. Then, Chelsea in the semi-final, one of the most intense, suffocating 2-legged ties in Champions League history. Benitez's tactics were perfect. The team defended like warriors. And in the second leg, just 4 minutes in, Luis Garcia scored the ghost goal. It was controversial, but it stood, and Liverpool were in the final. Liverpool versus AC Milan. One team full of Ballon d'Or winners, the other full of believers. What happened next was madness. By halftime, 3-0 to Milan. Game over. But Gerrard wasn't done. Minute 54, he scores. Minute 56, Smither scores. Minute 60, Gerrard gets a penalty. Alonso scores after the goalkeeper blocks it. 3-3 in 6 minutes. Gerrard drops to right back, cramping, exhausted, still leading. There was chaos in extra time. Shevchenko denied by Dudek twice. Finally, Liverpool won on penalties. Gerrard lifts the trophy with players like Jimmy Traore and Milan Baroš. No big stars, just heart and hard work. He's named UEFA Club Footballer of the Year, finishes third in the Ballon d'Or. That night, he didn't just lift silverware, he lifted a legacy. He was no longer just Liverpool's captain, he was their legend. But legends don't rest. 1 year later, he fights again in the greatest FA Cup final of all time. 2006, the FA Cup final, Liverpool versus West Ham. That season, Liverpool had already been knocked out of the Champions League and had an average season in the league. The FA Cup was their best chance to lift a trophy. The pressure was huge, and Gerrard knew it. The game time was running out. Then, in the 91st minute, the ball bounced to Gerrard. Boom! A thunderbolt from outside the box.
Oh, goodness me! What a strike!
Goal. He tied the game with one of the best goals ever seen in the final. Extra time came and went, penalties followed. Liverpool won. And Gerrard, he was named Man of the Match. That day, the FA Cup final became the Gerrard final. Later that year, he was named PFA Player of the Year. The next season, Liverpool depended on Gerrard even more. He was at the center of everything. Rafa Benitez gave him a new role, playing just behind Liverpool's new striker, Fernando Torres. Something clicked. Gerrard made smart passes, Torres finished quickly. Together, they became one of the most dangerous duos in Europe. Gerrard kept forward from midfield. Strong, fast, and full of fire. Defenders couldn't stop him. He scored huge goals in games against Inter Milan, Arsenal, and Aston Villa. He stayed calm in front of a goal and always showed up when it mattered the most. But even with Gerrard in top form, Liverpool finished 4th in the Premier League that season. They were knocked out in the semi-finals of the Champions League by Chelsea and didn't win any domestic cups either. So while Gerrard's performances were brilliant, Liverpool still fell short in their hunt for trophies. That season, he played 52 games in all competitions, scored 21 goals and had 13 assists. It was proof that Gerrard was more than a fighter. He was now Liverpool's main weapon in attack. Those numbers weren't just good for a midfielder. They were world class. Then came the 2008 to 2009 season. Gerrard and Torres became a two-man wrecking crew. One delivered the bullet, the other pulled the trigger. Every pass, every run, it was like they could read each other's minds. Liverpool looked very strong. They pushed Manchester United all the way in the Premier League title race and lost only 2 games all season. They beat big teams. Gerrard scored 2 against Real Madrid, then another one against Manchester United just a few days later. He was on fire. He led his team to a big win against Newcastle, a complete performance from the captain. By the end of the season, he had played 44 games and scored 24 goals. That's huge for a midfielder. He was named the FWA Footballer of the Year. In the other competitions, Liverpool were knocked out of the Champions League quarterfinals and didn't reach the final in any of the domestic cups. But still, Liverpool finished second in the league. Gerrard had injuries, Torres missed games too. Without them at full strength, the title slipped away. But fans knew that season, Gerrard was the best player in the country. But while Gerrard was at his best, Liverpool were falling apart. The 2 American owners, Hicks and Gillette, put the club in debt and created chaos behind the scenes. Fans protested. The team stopped growing. When FSG finally bought the club, it took time to fix things and build a team that could truly compete. New managers came, bad signings followed, and Gerrard's final prime years were wasted. In 2013 to 2014, Liverpool had one last chance to win the league with Steven Gerrard. Brendan Rodgers was the manager, and the team was full of energy and goals. And Liverpool were challenging for the title. Gerrard, now older, played in a deeper role, controlling the game, passing with class, and leading with heart. He was the captain, the voice, the brain. With Luis Suarez, Daniel Sturridge, and Raheem Sterling in attack, Liverpool were flying. They scored over 100 goals and sat at the top with just a few games to go. Then came Chelsea at Anfield. With just 3 games left, Liverpool were on top of the league with 80 points. They needed to win all 3 games to become champions for the first time in over 20 years. A tough game, high pressure, and then heartbreak. The ball came to Gerrard, 1 wrong step, 1 slip, 1 season, gone in a second. Chelsea scored, Liverpool lost. The dream was gone. Manchester City took the lead in the title race, and Liverpool, after such a magical season, finished second with 84 points.
The slip happened at a bad time. It was cruel for me personally, and there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about what if that didn't happen. Would things have been different? Would it have turned out different? Maybe it might have, I don't know.
Even though Gerrard had carried the team all season, he was remembered by many for that one slip. But real fans knew he was one of the reasons Liverpool got that close in the first place. 1 year after that famous slip in 2015, Gerrard announced he would leave Liverpool. His final away game, a 6-1 loss to Stoke City. He scored the only goal, a world-class player still fighting, surrounded by average players who couldn't keep up. That game summed up his Liverpool career. He carried Liverpool even on his last legs. In his final match at Anfield, the crowd gave him a standing ovation. The Kop roared his name. Legends, teammates, and rivals paid tribute, because everyone knew they weren't just saying goodbye to a player. They were saying goodbye to a symbol. In a time when most players leave for trophies, Gerrard stayed. He turned down offers from big clubs and managers. He stayed loyal because Liverpool was home.
I'm very sad that he's leaving. I tried to bring him to Chelsea, I tried to bring him to Inter, I tried to bring him to Real Madrid, and he was always a dear enemy.
He became a legend like Kenny Dalglish. He won Liverpool Player of the Year 4 times, and players, managers, and fans around the world still talk about his greatness. Even without a league title,
Gerrard is comfortably in Liverpool's all-time greatest 11.
That says it all. You don't need a medal to prove your worth when your name is written in the club's history forever. Steven Gerrard didn't get the fairy tale ending. No final title, no golden goodbye. Just a man walking off the pitch, knowing he gave it everything. For 17 years, Steven Gerrard went to war for Liverpool. Through glory and heartbreak, he stood tall when others fell. Steven Gerrard didn't just play for Liverpool, he bled for them. He didn't chase trophies, he built memories. He turned dreams into comebacks and heartbreak into belief. Others lifted more silverware, but Gerrard, he lifted a city. Because while some players are remembered for what they won, Steven Gerrard is remembered for what he meant.